All right, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Diamond Rivera of the Live Discussions with Diamond podcast, all the way from New York City. And what you just watched was an amazing, amazing routine with Brandon and Michelle, one of my favorite groups out of the recent years. And tonight, people, we have a very special episode. But before we get started, this episode is sponsored by tubachataradio.com, where you can listen to this interview live in high quality. As well, you'll be able to stream and listen to all episodes on Google and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and so much more. And tonight, people, we have a very special guest, a woman that I've followed her career for many years, from her humble beginnings in Connecticut to now she's in the Midwest. And honestly, I am amazed by this woman to see her growth and progression. And we have the one and only Michelle Morales.
What's up? Hello.
Hello, hello, Michelle. As we've talked also before privately. I'm really thankful that I have you on. Kind of me and you kind of go way back, and for me, meeting you back in Connecticut at the CT Salsa Fest many years ago, and to see how far you've come and what you continue to produce is astounding. And I'm really honored to definitely have this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. And I know we go way back. I
Yeah,
feel like teenage years, like almost, I don't know how old I was. I had to be 12 or 13. I
yeah,
don't remember. It's been a while. So I'm so happy for you that you're doing this and that you asked me to be a part of your podcast, interview, all of the above. So thank you so much for having me.
absolutely. I mean, for me, like I've told you before as well, with this platform, my focus is allowing people and artists like you to tell your story without having someone else tell it for you. Or usually, what happens in most dance careers, you have a 3 to 6 year span, then you kind of fall off the face of the earth in a sense and do something else. But realizing artists like yourself that have been pushing through since you've been a teenager, and even now, traveling and really traveling the world and really producing amazing content. It's definitely an honor having you here. And for me, again, it's allowing people not to just see the artist side, but also the human side. Because I think, too, that's something that gets lost a lot, especially in our career, because we go from Congress to Congress, state to state. And most people just know us from a performance where we did really good, or maybe we had a slip up. But having the same conversations we have in the hotel rooms, now bringing it to the forefront, I think is important. And, as I start every interview, I love kind of taking it way back. So, kind of give myself and the audience an understanding of who Michelle Morales is even before dance.
Oh, well, let me tell you, it started all with dance
Mm.
because I started dancing at the age of 3. My mom said I was a very hyperactive child and she did not know what to do with me. So she said, baby girl, we're going to send you to dance classes. So at 3 years old, I started dancing. I was at a dance school. I started doing ballet, tap, and then all the way until now, I haven't stopped dancing. So yeah, dancing is actually my life. You know, I know for some people it may not be a real career, or it's like, what's your plan B? But this has always been my plan A and B and C, right? Because this is really what I love to do. This is what I'm passionate about. So yeah, I mean, before salsa, which I started at 11 years old. I was dancing a lot of different genres: ballet, tap, Latin jazz, Irish dancing, Afro, and then hip hop. So I started dancing salsa at the same time as I started dancing hip hop. I was really into hip hop. But then I got introduced to salsa, and salsa really took over. Salsa took over at the age of 11 because my parents were taking salsa classes. Then my mom took me. And then I quit everything. I quit everything for salsa. I know I shouldn't have, because it would have been really great for my training and dancing. But I quit everything for salsa at the age of 11. I loved it. Like I started in Connecticut with Luis Lopez.
Mhm.
I was there until about I was 18 years old. And at the same time, middle school, high school, went to school, after school, went to dance, would do fun congresses locally in the States. And then at the age of 18, I was going to school. And I started my dance career professionally with Yamulee, and I was working. So that was one of the craziest times of my life, was trying to go to school, then going to work, and then going to Yamulee. Like literally, I felt like I would fall asleep as I was going there. And then leaving Yamulee at like midnight or past midnight to do it all over again. It was an experience, but I don't regret any of it, because it's what made me who I am today, in terms of being disciplined and just kind of, telling anybody out there who's like, can I still do it? Can I still go to school? Can I still dance? I mean, that's another topic about choosing school and dance, because I always gave everything 50-50. It took me so long to graduate college, because I would take time off, or I was part-time, or, because of dance. I always put dance in front of everything. I remember there was a time that I was traveling out of the country every single weekend. Like, I knew my schedule in advance, and I told myself there's no way I'm going to be able to do a semester in school. So it took me so long to graduate. I graduated from the University of Connecticut. So not a lot of people know that. I got my bachelor's there. But like, yeah, I did it more so for my mom, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to school because I really wanted to go to school. I went to school because my mom wanted me to go to school. She was like, I don't care what the degree is in. It could be in dance. It could be in, it could be anything. It can be anything. She goes, I just need to know that you have a backup in case anything were to happen, because, injuries happen, for people who are super physical like myself, injuries happen. I've gotten injured really bad 3 times. So I've experienced being out of commission for a while. Yeah. So I know why she wanted me to do it, but either way, I still chose dance, and I'm still doing dance.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, as we talked, of course, when I met you at the Connecticut Salsa Fest, maybe 2008, 9, maybe even around there. Yeah. So long ago, to see, of course, you working with Lewis. I was amazed that, you worked with kids, you being a teenager, and then seeing you grow. But when you went to Yamulee, I immediately saw like the switch, because what happens is, and people have to be honest, when it comes to our dance scene, there are companies that people literally travel to train with from across the world, even to become a part of a team. And for me, seeing Yamulee over the years, it's an institution, because you have to understand is that primarily every dancer, the biggest pros that have been there, they started somewhere. You always have to start really from the bottom and working your way. And I noticed with the routines, especially, you were doing one of my favorites, Paloma. For me, everything worked. And as you talked about, you loving hip hop, being introduced to so many styles beforehand, I think now everything, when I say, makes sense. From the facial expressions, from the movements, from the hits, you can tell when someone's been trained in other styles and then just incorporating everything into it. And, that's really special. My question now is, what was that moment like, your first time performing as a Yamulee pro dancer? Like, what was that feeling backstage?
I remember my first performance with Yamulee. Well, let me just backtrack a little bit, because when I was actually supposed to debut with Yamulee was for Connecticut Salsa Fest, but then I shattered my knee a week before, and I was on crutches, and I couldn't debut until October.
Yeah,
because Connecticut Salsa Fest was in May. And then in October, I was able to debut in Miami at a club, at a social. And I was out of breath. That was my experience. I was out of breath because I had to perform 2 Yamulee routines in the same night. So my experience backstage was, we got to do another one right now, like right now. So that was my first experience. It was like, wow, this is no joke.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was a lot, I think, for it being my first show with Yamulee, because we usually don't do that. Two shows in one night, right?
Yeah.
It's always like one and one, like Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday. So for me, that was a real moment for me. So that was my experience.
Yeah, I mean, even for me, seeing like when you talked about the rehearsals, the myths, the urban legends of people leaving 1, 2 in the morning from rehearsals to make sure everything is done. Because again, I think people have to really understand, Yamule being around for so many years, there's a reputation. You have to make sure everything is on point. Everything has to be in unison, especially when you're a team. Because a lot of times, even with the music selection, I've noticed one wrong move and it can be a problem. You to
Hmm.
come back from that, you have to really be trained, and the hours and the blood and sweat and the tears that it really shows during the performances. So a question I have is, during your time with Yamule, what were some of your memorable performances? Like when you think about the performances you've had, what are ones that really like pop in your mind automatically?
Hmm. So that's a good one. I want to say in the beginning, like, was with Osmar, I would say, where I felt like we were finally connecting and it was getting comfortable. I wouldn't say easier, but
Yeah.
comfortable for me, was when we were dancing Mambo, which is a classic for Yamule. And that was when I first started dancing with him, like as his partner. We were just doing that routine so much
Mhm.
that it finally felt good to perform it, because anyone who has danced with Osmar knows how nerve-wracking it is, for all, to all eyes be on you, because you're dancing with the boss, right?
Yes.
So for me, that was one routine that really stuck with me in terms of connecting with him. In the beginning, I felt like that was one of the routines where I was like, okay, we're finally connecting in terms of dance. In terms of dance, we were finally connecting.
Mhm.
Um, and then one of my favorite routines in Yamule was definitely Severa.
Mhm.
Severa. That to me, I don't know. That one was just so much fun to perform. So I loved it. And then I want to say the last one for me was definitely Paloma. That one was one that I did a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, and that was another one that I felt was almost different for Yamule. I feel like that was one routine that kind of started changing up
Yeah.
um, to maybe what was like kind of trending at the moment. There was some Afro elements to it that were not so common in the Yamule way of dancing. So that was exciting. That was exciting to do.
Absolutely. So my last question, with kind of your time with Yamole, from before we get into kind of transitioning out of that, was for a person who is the novice, who's saying, "Hey, I saw you perform for so many years, and I want to join Yamole." What is a piece of advice you would give someone who wants to become a pro member?
Mm. I would say it's always discipline. It's always discipline, and not only in Yamule, and not only to be a pro, but I think in anything, it's
Yeah.
always discipline. Anybody will always see someone who's disciplined and committed, right?
Yeah.
You can be talented, you can be great, you can come to class and then leave. Okay, good for you, but just showing the effort that you're putting in,
Hmm.
um, I think Osmad especially will notice that. Oh, wow, this person's coming for all the classes. Oh, wow, this person is staying to watch the rehearsals. Um, it's just showing interest, showing commitment, showing discipline, I think, is the way for anything, for anyone, for any team, and especially Yamole. And like I said, I've had experiences everywhere I've gone, and I think that has been the biggest one,
Hmm.
um, that will always kind of win.
Absolutely. I mean, the word itself, of course, discipline, and I completely understand what you mean because, like you said, Will Smile being the boss, whether you're performing him or not, he's always watching because you understand with schools, there's always going to be new and new dancers who are progressing, And it is important for a person that is trying to understand what it takes. It does take the long hours. It does take staying over, watching things, repeating, because again, you never know who's watching. So now we kind of transition into, after Yamulee. And what was that experience like for you? Was it kind of let me go into more solo work, or was it you felt like, hey, I could collaborate with different artists at the time?
So honestly, when I left Yamulee, I was finishing school. So
Mhm.
my focus was, okay, go to school full time. That way
Yeah.
you can get it over with because it's been way too long.
Yeah.
Michelle, now that you're not in Yamulee, you don't have to be in all the classes and all the rehearsals. Now you have the time for yourself to
Yeah.
just get school over with, right? So that was actually one of my main goals when I finished Yamulee. And then of course I knew I wasn't going to stop dancing. I love
Mhm.
dancing too much, but I just think it was my time to focus on myself.
Yes.
I believe I left at like 25 when I was in Yamulee. I was 25 years old, I
Mhm.
believe. I think so. And I spoke to Osmar. We left in good terms. He understood. I mean,
Mhm.
I think, of course, like, they never want to let you go. They want you to stay. They're like, no, it's not your time yet. You need to stay. No, don't leave yet, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think you'll ever be ready to leave, or
Yeah.
or sometimes you never know when is the right time. Who knows? Maybe I still needed more time in Yamulee
Mhm.
to grow, right? But I think for me, I needed to make that decision for myself. And honestly, I needed to leave. I needed to focus on myself. I needed my time because
Mhm.
Yamulee is very time consuming, life
Yeah.
consuming.
Yeah.
It is, honestly, it is, and I loved every moment of it. But it is. So yeah, that was really my transition, is trying to
Mhm.
finish school, and then obviously knowing that I'm not going to stop dancing. And that's when my partner and I linked up. He hadn't had a partner for about 2 years, and
Mhm.
then I obviously wanted to continue dancing. And I always loved how Brandon danced.
Yeah.
Brandon's way younger than me. I know people don't know that, but he's way younger than
Wait.
me.
Oh my God.
He's 7 years younger than me.
You're still
So
young. You're young.
I know. Yeah. I look young. I look young.
You
That's
are
great.
young. You
Yes.
are young.
Yeah, I know. I know. Kind of. But, yeah, so Brandon and I were always friends. We would see each other in all these events, and I would always mess with him because he was like a little kid. And I'll be like, when you grow up, you better save me. I'm going to be your partner. We're going to be partners when you grow up.
Uh,
So I would mess around with him. This is when I was in Yamulee. I would mess around with him all the time. And then, because we would always stay in touch, we were just talking, and we came to an agreement of trying to see if this would work. We're long distance. That's not ideal
mhm.
for professional couples. So yeah, we made it work. We cooked. I mean, we cooked. Sorry, I got a little distracted.
No
Um,
worries.
he said cook, and then I said cook. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, we did well. We did well. We created something that I think we both liked. We both worked really well together, and I just really enjoy working with him.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I
It's
mean,
super easy.
I would definitely say one of my favorite routines. I don't know the name of it, but I remember it was at the Mambo Lunch in Milano. That was one of my favorites. From the stage presence, the facial expressions, everything just worked in unison. And for me, seeing you doing that type of work now, from you working, doing your thing in Connecticut, then coming to Yamulee, then transitioning and becoming your own person, your own brand, but then also working with a person like Brandon that I've been following him and his for years. So when they were younger, doing their own thing, and I think it was really meant. It was meant to be, because I mean, not every dance partnership works, and like you said, another added factor is long distance. Most of the time, one person says, "I'm gonna actually move and come here and work." Most of the time, it happens like that. But
Yeah.
for you guys to have something long distance and make it work, I think was awesome. So now my question is, throughout the years of you working then with Brandon, what were some of your most memorable performances?
Mm. Well, it's funny because I feel like we're our worst critics. So
Mm.
I'm always like, I get off the show. We just finished a show and I'm like, oh my God, that was horrible. That was so bad. And he'll like be like, yeah, oh my God, I don't know. And then we show it to our friends. They're like, that's the best show we've seen. That's the
Mm.
best one. So we're like, what? No way. And we're like, so there's been so many because I feel like, we've grown together. We've gone to so many new countries together. Um, oh my God, it's so hard. So hard to say. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Milano was a good one. Now that you bring
Yeah.
that one up, that was an experience because that was with live music. So it,
Hmm.
it wasn't exactly how our track was, right?
Yeah.
They had to learn our cut. I don't know how long they had to learn it. I don't know. I don't know if you were there live
Hmm.
but we literally had just 2 blocks to dance in.
Yeah.
So it was also scary to dance there. But that was an experience because that's the first time I've ever danced live to my own song. So I think that was an experience. And then I'll say our debut. I'll say
Yeah.
our debut was another memorable one because it was just like, oh my God, we just did this. We can do it. Like that was a memorable one, I think also. And that's like, so I love that one. I know it was something different. It wasn't a salsa.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think that was also a good one too. Like I said, there's been so many
Yeah.
that I'm just like, oh my God, that time when we were there. Um, yeah, no, but I want to say those two. Yeah, for sure.
I would definitely say is that even asking that question, I love asking it because I think over this past year, especially with COVID, it really showed the vulnerability of our community, how quickly things can change in one day. Um, from you just thinking about, oh, I have a show this weekend to I don't know when the next show's coming. Um,
Oh my God, yes,
yeah.
that was scary.
And for me, I love talking to the artists that I know and always asking them how have they been able to adjust or how have they been, because again, I noticed too, even the even the lack of understanding from the government level of how important the dance field and the dance atmosphere works, and how much the arts is kind of pushed back. But again, my question really is, from the beginning of COVID really till now, presently, how have you been?
Yeah. So in the beginning, it was very tough. Like you said, it was that constant question of, oh my God, when are we gonna do a show? When am I gonna see you again? Is there a point of me rehearsing? Do I just stop? Like what do I do? Right. So it was tough in the beginning of COVID. I had a lot of anxiety. I was like, oh my God, like this is all I do. What now? What now? What's gonna happen? And I had to snap out of it. I had to
Mhm.
snap out of it and I just had to try what was our new reality, which was doing
Yes.
things virtually, right? So I started my virtual classes, I believe in May, in
Mhm.
May, in May of last year. And it was such a blessing in disguise because of the amount of people that signed up for my online classes up until this day is
Yeah.
just so incredible. I'm so grateful. I always say, like, no guys, like I'm so blessed. Whenever I talk about it, I'm like, I'm so
Yeah.
blessed to be able to share what I do virtually now, because I
Mhm.
feel like for some people it might be like, oh, virtually it's not the same, but for others, this is better because
Yeah.
they aren't able to travel to these events. They aren't able to travel to me. So to have this platform where we can still give classes
Mhm.
and take classes both, I think has been amazing. I know it's been a year. I'm not gonna lie. I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, are we done? Are we done? It's been a year since I've been doing this. Are we done? And I even asked that question in my last post on Instagram, posted a video, and I was like, hey guys, are we over it? Or do we still want to continue with my online classes? And some people are saying, yes, continue, because I
Yeah.
live in Canada and things are still not open over here. So no, we do still want this. So
Yeah.
for me, that was a nice response, because it's like, okay, people still want to continue online. And I ask my students also, like, I know it's getting nice out. People are now, they're, in New York, in Chicago, and in other places in the world, well, in the United States, I should say, things are slowly opening and
Yeah.
things in person are happening, so yeah, no. So my experience through COVID, in the beginning was tough, very, very tough. But in terms of dance, my students are the ones who have kept me lifted and have
Yeah.
pushed me to continue dancing. Because honestly, if I didn't have classes, I don't know how I would be doing. Yeah.
Man, and just realizing even through COVID, I definitely applaud your efforts of really pushing that online initiative forward, because you realize how many people really admire your work. And even though they can't see you personally and physically, they can still communicate with you and learn from you. And I think it kind of puts to bed the notion that you can't learn from YouTube or you can't learn online. I think that kind of myth is definitely dead now. But for me, seeing what you've been able to do, like you said, things are opening up. Festivals will come back in some capacity, and I definitely hope for the future to see you and Brandon, but even your work as well, because I've also enjoyed your solo work over the years. I'm definitely thankful that we have an artist like you, and I think it helps us now transition to our last segment called The Randoms, which is about 10 questions that allow myself and the audience to get to know you. So all I need to know is when you are ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Number one, right now, if you could have one meal, what would it be?
Pizza.
Wait, I'm assuming, are you in Chicago right now?
No, I'm in Michigan.
Okay, okay. I'm about to say if you were in Chicago, I'm assuming you were gonna get a deep dish. But if are we talking about Pepe's, Frank Pepe's pizza, or are we talking about deep dish Chicago pizza?
No, 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 no. Like New York style pizza.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I see that New York has definitely rubbed off on you.
yeah.
Awesome. So next question is, if you were at a social right now and you can only dance to one song, who would it be with?
Who would it be with?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. Hmm. Well, I just finished dancing with Brandon, so like no, like we just rehearsed, so I've already danced with you. Who would it be with at a social? Ah, that's a good one. Oh my God, why is this taking me so long? Does it take people long to
It's
answer these questions?
I can even give you three people that you can choose from.
Yes, let's do that.
You have Osmal, you have Rasove,
Okay.
and you have Adolfo.
Oh God, don't do that. I'll say Adolfo, because I've only had one dance with him. I've only social danced with him once. Whereas with the other ones, I've danced with them a lot before. Yeah. So I'll say Adolfo.
All right, big shout out to Adolfo and also Empire
Yeah.
Mambo with him and Emeric.
Yes.
Definitely.
And Tanya's in town now. So you guys need to check it out. So Tanya, just so you guys know, is who I idolize. So when I perform, or I honestly just try to mirror her, because like she is like the queen for me. Yeah, that's who I idolize, and that's kind of who I look up to in terms of dancing and as a soloist. I really admire her.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She knows that.
I've seen her work, especially even with Charlie or when she also worked with Adolfo. So definitely big ups to Tanya. All right, next question is, what is Michelle's dream vacation destination?
Ooh. Honestly, any island, like Caribbean island. Yeah, no, I love DR.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, DR, Jamaica.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of somewhere I haven't been. I don't know.
Maldives.
Oh yeah, like oh no, you know where I've been wanting to go?
Mhm.
Like Thailand.
Oh yeah, definitely get away.
That would be fun. Thailand, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you'll definitely make that happen. I know for a fact.
Hopefully.
All right. Next question is, what did Michelle want to be at 10 years old?
A dancer.
There you go.
Yep. Mhm. That was it. That was my life. Dance, dance, dance.
Man. All right. Next
Wait, no,
question.
no. Hold on. Probably, you know what? I loved J Lo at that time, right?
Oh,
It was always watching those J Lo
yeah.
music videos, her concerts. So maybe deep down inside, I thought I was gonna be like some Latina superstar,
I mean,
dancer,
you are.
singer,
You are. I would say you are for
maybe.
sure. All right. Well, I mean, close enough. I definitely
Yeah.
say it's definitely close enough. All right. Next question is, what is a huge turnoff for Michelle at a social?
Okay. I feel like it happens a lot, but I'm gonna just say it. When they don't ask me, do you want to dance, but they just kind of like grab you to dance.
Oh, and
I'm just, I'm just like,
I'm not gonna lie, Michelle. And when you said that, I've been at a social with you that I've seen a guy actually try to grab you, and you have that look like, "What are you doing?" Like, did you? Yeah, I definitely.
yeah. It's just like, hello, manners. Can you ask? Like, oh, would you like to dance, or are you tired, or something?
Yes.
But sometimes they just start grabbing your hand and they just start pulling you through, and I'm just like, oh, I guess, I guess,
I
okay,
wasn't having a conversation right now with my friend. That wasn't it. So, well, definitely, please, guys, leads. Whoever's a lead, whenever you dance with Michelle, please ask. Don't just grab. So, I mean,
yeah,
as well. So, next question is partner work or shines?
shines.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely see why you said that. Just seeing the way you just like execute, I see that you just have that extra little, get to do your own thing.
Yeah, yeah, because I feel like for women, for follows,
Yes.
we don't get to be as creative when it
Mhm.
comes to partner work, because the leads are the ones who lead the entire thing. Yeah, you can make it your own, you can put your own style to it, but to me, where I can let loose and really
Mhm.
be myself are during shines and footwork. So, yep, shines.
Perfect. All right. Next question. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Mm, maybe be invisible.
Mm, that could be good and bad.
Like, I'm here and then poof, I'm not here.
Oh my god, that'd
Yeah,
be a little scary. A little scary,
yeah,
especially at social.
yeah,
I don't want to be that
yeah,
guy dancing with you. You're just invisible, and I'm looking crazy. Just
yeah,
yeah. All right.
yeah. I just saw a superhero movie. That's why I'm saying that. That's the first thing that came in my head, when she would just not be there, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, would I want to have the strength, or would I just want to like pop in and out? I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Just pop in and out. See what's
Yep.
up. All right. Next question is, what is something that Michelle likes to do besides dance? What is a hobby of yours, or something that many people wouldn't know you actually like doing?
Mm. I love going out to eat. I love coming together with friends
Mm,
and going out to eat and just having a good time, bonding.
yeah.
Honestly, that's like that. Like for me, that's fun. Like when I'm back home, I'm like, okay, like where are we gonna eat? What
Yeah.
are we doing? What are we doing? Where are we gonna go out to eat? Like that's just me. I don't know why. Like that's what I like that that's what I call fun. Like not going to a club, like, oh, are we going to do this? Are we gonna go do that? No, I mean, like, can we just be together And can
Yeah.
we just have food? Can we just be together anywhere? We can be in a park. We can be in somebody's house. We can be anywhere. But can we just be bonding
Hmm.
with food?
Okay. I mean,
Yes.
I definitely think that's not hard to ask. All right. Next question
Yeah.
is, what is a special talent that you might have that people don't know?
Oh my God. Mm. You know, people tell me. People tell me. I'm
People,
not gonna. I'm not gonna admit to it.
gotcha.
But people tell me, I could hold a note or two.
Oh, okay. I mean, what kind of note? We talking about like a C note, like $100 bill? Are you talking about like a high note? Where are we going with that?
You know,
Okay.
yeah,
J
you
Lo.
know. Oh, um, yeah. No, I mean, yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I'm decent. I'll say that. Like I could try, and people are like, "Oh, she knows how to sing." I'm like, my friends have told me, like, Michelle, you should actually try doing that for real. And
huh?
I'm like, no way. But some people tell me like, oh yeah, like she's good. And I'm like, even my Brandon, he'll be like, all right, Michelle, sing for them. And then this is the problem. When I try, he goes, no, you sound better than that. And I'm like, you see, I think it's when I get put on the spot.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what it is. When I get put on the spot, it's a
Yeah, of
mess.
course.
But if I'm just going and people are like, oh, you can sing.
Mm,
But we're not gonna do that here because if I get put on the spot, then I'll embarrass myself.
of course, of course. Don't worry, we won't put you on the spot. I'm just waiting for that one Facebook post that you put some music, and I'm like, okay, maybe
I
maybe.
actually did. I actually did do it once. I did do it once, not too long ago. And I remember Brandon saying, "Oh my God, Michelle, that was you. I thought it was a cover."
Oh,
I
that's
was
what
like
partners
that.
are for.
I was like, that was me. And then somebody I remember messaged me saying, "Oh, you weren't that bad." And I was like, I mean, I wasn't trying to be serious, but okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. All right. Last question we have here. This is how it goes. If you're in the Maldives right now, you're on an island, disclaimer, you have no Wi-Fi. What are three things you would have with
What are three things I would have with me
you?
if
Mhm.
I'm in an island?
Yes.
Music.
Okay.
We need music. So a speaker, music. Okay. What else do we need? We need a lot of food.
Okay.
Need a lot of food and drinks. That's it.
All right.
Drinks, food, and music.
And the
I'm
boyfriend is at
happy.
home and he can chill and you'll be on. See, I already
That's fine. That's fine. Those three things, I'm good.
perfect. I love it. And Michelle, I want to thank you so much for doing this segment. I always do it at the end because we kind of learn a little bit more about you right at that end point. And now it brings us to our conclusion of our talk. And honestly, from start to finish, kind of getting a glimpse of your life because I don't feel in one interview you can kind of tell the whole story. I feel it's like a lot of layers. So realizing we kind of got a glimpse of your story from when you were young until present day, and seeing that you're still flourishing, still doing amazing. You're in a new city, but you're blossoming. And honestly, I really thank you so much for coming tonight. But before we go, I would love to know if you had any last few words for myself and the audience, but also information on how people can reach you about your upcoming classes and projects.
Yeah, no. So I think I just always tell everybody, don't stop what you love doing, even through this pandemic. I know it's tough, but just keep pushing. I, have amazing friends
Mhm.
who always push me.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I self-doubt a lot. And
Mhm.
I haven't realized that, but somebody checked me. They were like, I think you self doubt you doubt yourself a lot. And I was like, I agree. I think I do.
Yeah.
He goes, because you can do so much. And anyways, so I feel like, just having a support system that can
Yeah.
push you, that can snap you out of it, and really push you to do the most that you can do. And yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram, Michelle Morales XO. That's really where I post all of my stuff, any projects, any events that I'm doing. I also offer my online classes, my weekly online classes that I do monthly, as well as private lessons that have been going very well for me. Like you said, it just comes to show that you can learn online.
Yeah.
So I'm also available for that, and I do them at a discounted rate because I know what we're all going through. Some people are not working, and it is online. So I also do that. So don't hesitate to contact me. And yeah, I hope to see everybody soon in person. I hope to dance again with everybody in person. And I thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I mean, I thank you. I thank everyone for tuning in. Everyone that will be tuning in the future, you can learn a lot, especially from Michelle. Again, Michelle, I thank you so much for coming. I thank everyone who's tuning in. And it's been another great episode on the Live Discussions with Diamond podcast. Everyone, be safe and see you soon, everyone. Have a good night.